Throughout this whole pandemic, I felt like there was a certain type of anime that I was missing. And even though we were going through quite a drought of anime doing it, I was still able to find those few animes that can fill most of my bare needs. And I didn't know what this missing anime was for the longest time. It wasn't until I was looking at what was going to come out for the winter of 2021, and I saw that Yuru Season 2 was going to be released. The moment I saw that, it hit me like a truck. My missing anime during the whole pandemic was a slice of life anime. Something that could take my mind off of whatever's happening in the world and just let me get enthralled by the lives of these anime characters. It's weird how all of 2020 didn't have an anime that could do that, especially when we needed it the most. Because nothing is more relaxing than Yuru Camp. Let me first confess that at the time when I was looking at the lineup for the winter of 2021, I hadn't seen a single episode of the anime. But I had a couple friends who were praising the show and were getting really excited for the new season. So I was like, you know what, I like such life anime, I'll give it a shot. And oh my god, I want to thank all my friends who recommended this anime to me. Cause Yuru Camp is literally one of the best slice of life animes I've seen. Now, I understand that there are a good number of people who don't like slice of life anime in any way. And you're completely justified too. Because at the end of the day, a slice of life anime is literally a show where basically nothing happens. But for all my fellow slice of life lovers, I'm here to back you up. So before we get to talking about Yuru Camp and why I think it's the pinnacle of slice of life anime, I first want to explain why I like slice of life anime in the first place, and also what makes a good slice of life anime. Because this is probably my best chance to do this, and whenever anyone asks me why do I like slice of life anime, I can just link them to this video. Okay, let's answer the question. Why do I like slice of life anime? Like I said earlier in the video, I view slice of life anime as an escape route where I can take my mind off of whatever's happening in the world at the moment and just let myself relax. But honestly, anyone can do that with any type of anime, or even any type of entertainment. So what in particular about a slice of life anime makes me personally do this? I think it comes down to that because there is nothing of importance given off from the plot, everything the characters do now becomes important to the story and to my enjoyment. Wait, hearing that out loud, that probably just confused more people than it helped. Here, let me try to elaborate this a little bit better. Since a slice of life anime is a show where we just follow the daily lives of these anime characters without having any important overarching plot throughout the whole anime, every little action, every scenario, every interaction between characters, literally everything within the anime, they are all put in this giant spotlight within this void of nothingness. That then makes their importance exponentially larger because they become the driving factors for the show. With this, it makes the lives of these anime characters much more entertaining because there's nothing else that is more important contrasting it. Not only that, but for me personally, I need something that gives me a break from the regular anime I watch. How I like to compare this is that it's like the Animal Crossing of the anime world. Sure, I love my actions, my JRPGs, and my fighting games. But I need that one thing that lets me stop to smell the roses. Jesus. I can't believe it's harder for me to try to explain why I like slice of anime than me trying to explain Wonder Egg Priority. Moving on from this, we've now explained why I like slice of life anime, but not all slice of life anime are created equal. So what's the difference between a good slice of life anime and a bad slice of life anime? I've narrowed it down to 4 different elements. The reasoning behind this is because these are things you see reoccurring consistently in well-renowned slice of life anime. The first thing that pops into my head when I think what makes a good slice of life anime is that they add in some sort of hook/gimmick that makes them stand out from other slice of life anime. This can be backed up with shows like Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Girls Last Tour, My Roommate is a Cat, and K-On! They all added something intriguing to the formula of slice of life, but even if a slice of life does that, that doesn't always mean it's going to be good. For example, if we compare School Babysitters and How to Keep a Mummy, both shows have very similar gimmicks. However, in the case of School Babysitters, they were able to add in all these important lessons about family and friends throughout every episode. But with How to Keep a Mummy, it was just pure cuteness every episode. And because of that, I think that's why School Babysitters was received much better than How to Keep a Mummy. So that's why I think the second thing a good slice of life anime needs to do is that it needs to have a strong sense of theming. Basically what I'm saying is, what's the whole vibe or the lesson the anime is trying to give off? The third thing I think a slice of life anime needs to do is that it needs to create this low conflict environment the audience wants to be a part of. This is executed by the way the characters act and the setting itself. The final thing I think a slice of life anime needs to do is that it needs some comedy within the anime. Now, I'm not talking about laughing out your guts type of comedy. What a slice of life tries to do is make you giggle throughout watching the series, usually coming from the quirky actions from our characters. In doing so, it causes us to like the characters even more. Okay, we've covered why I like slice of life anime, and what makes a good slice of life anime. Now we can get to the part you've all been waiting for. Why do I think Yuru Camp is the pinnacle of slice of life? Let me first go over a couple things that I can't really talk too in depth about, but I would hate myself if I don't talk about these aspects when talking about Yuru Camp. And probably every Yuru Camp follower will lose their mind if I don't talk about them as well. The first thing is, the OST is so good. Not only does it fit the whole vibe of the anime perfectly, but I've legitimately listened to it to go to sleep. Also, the openings and the endings are amazing as well. The second thing is, I love the attention they give to the food in this anime. Just like Nadeshiko, I love food. And to quote Wen, they make it look so delicious. Almost every time I finish an episode, I get hungry. The third thing is, every background we see looks stunning. There is so much detail and it's so accurate to real life that it's very easy to tell that the creators of this anime care about showing the beauty of nature in Japan. That also ties in with my fourth thing I love, which is they have the characters camping in all different parts of Japan, showing all the unique attractions of all these prefectures. The final quick thing I love about this anime is that it has so many tacos! Yup, I'm a big dog person. But with all jokes aside, all these small things I talked about, they're all really important to help build this relaxing vibe. Because without any of these aspects, Yuru Camp just wouldn't feel the same. Now with all the smaller things I love about this anime out of the way, let's look back at the list we made earlier about what makes a good slice of life anime. We're now going to use this list to see how many of them are within Yuru Camp and to analyze how well it's executed in the anime. So I think any functioning human being is able to figure out what the hook of this anime is. It's literally in the goddamn title. But what's really special about this gimmick is that it's something you wouldn't expect cute anime girls doing. This puts it in a very similar scenario as Girls Last Tour, and man was that show so good. What I love even more is that it's actually putting some light on a more niche category of camping. The idea of doing winter camping instead of normal camping that's done during the summer is genius to me, because it helps set up the foundation of the theming of the anime. Now, Yuru Camp also went the extra mile by properly teaching us how to camp during the winter. Like, you're not gonna learn how to become a proper maid by watching Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. But with Yuru Camp, they're giving you actual educations on things, like how to start a fire, what kind of gear you need to go camping, all sorts of safety measures, some simple do's and don'ts, and even how to cook a nice meal for yourself to warm you up. It's another thing added to this anime where you can tell that the creators took their time to do the research. Then there's also the addition of having Otsuka R.T.O doing the narration for the steps, which just makes it even more awesome. With all this now put together to create the hook/gimmick, there's not much out there that can compete against them. Moving on to the theme of the anime, I've said it multiple times now. The relaxing aura this anime gives off is so persuading. Like when you see Rin all wrapped up in a blanket next to a fire, you instantly understand exactly how that would feel, and it makes you want to do the exact same thing. We've all been there. It's winter time, your room is all cold, you wrap yourself up in a blanket, and then you sit in front of the fireplace or the heater, and you instantly sigh from the comfortableness. That feeling you get from those kinds of moments is what the whole anime strives to accomplish every episode. What amazes me even more is that every character displays these themes in their own unique way. Because of this, they are able to hit it out of the park every time, and it makes you appreciate all the aspects of winter camping. I've never gone camping once in my life, and I saw it as one of the worst activities you could do. But with Yuru Camp now showing me this whole new side of camping, I'm now way more willing to try out winter camping, and the fact that this slice of life anime is able to persuade me like that just proves how well it was able to execute its themes. So, because the themes are based around the relaxing vibes of camping, the low conflict environment has already been pretty well established. But we're not fully in the clear yet, cause how could I talk about Yuru Camp without talking about our girls? With Rin, you can instantly tell what makes her best girl, and that's because she's the most relatable character within the whole cast. She's sarcastic, she likes her alone time, she has some of the funniest moments of the anime, she's the coolest of the bunch, and her hair bun, it's so adorable. Then with Nadeshiko, the best way I can describe her is that she has the energy of a puppy. She's a bit of an airhead, but in the most endearing way. She's super expressive, and her passion for camping is so infectious. With Ari, she's the big sister of the group. She's always so loving, she's super calm, and I love the way she talks. Then with Chiaki, she always tries to impress you, but that usually backfires a lot of the time. And every time it does, it always gives me a good chuckle. Finally, with Enya, she's the person who helps out our cast, kinda like the ultimate wingman, but for camping. With all of these amazing characters, they bounce off each other so beautifully, creating all these amazing lighthearted moments to the funniest scenarios they get themselves into. Without any of these characters within the anime, the environment Yuru Camp created just wouldn't be the same. Finally, getting to the comedy aspect of the show, there's nothing too complex about it. However, the simplicity and the creativity it has in the anime is the main reason why I love it so much. They rarely try to do jokes for comedy. Instead, they use the interesting scenarios our characters got into, or they use the funny reactions they give off. Like, you can't look straight into my eyes and say the scene where Rin gets bodied by a dog was not hilarious, or the scene where Chika somehow becomes a ready-to-go package. I genuinely think that Yuru Camp has figured out a really good formula for creating the comedy, and every so often I feel like it's on par with some of the comedy anime I've seen in the past. With that, we are finally done, and if you can take only one thing away from all of this, it's that Yuru Camp is a show that is made with all the love in the world. At the end of the day, Yuru Camp makes me feel all warm and cozy. Pretty much any fan of the show will tell you that. And isn't that what matters most about a slice of life? That it makes you feel good at the highest level. If this doesn't prove to you that Yuru Camp is the pinnacle of slice of life, then I don't know what will.